The very latest is obviously what's transpired over the weekend. Obviously the chairman met with Lillian Greenwood MP on Friday to talk about the club's future. It's since emerged that there is now, he says, 3 buyers jostling for position to get a deal over the line. Obviously there's a small matter of the staff's wages to be paid, so obviously they went without payment on Friday. It's a very, very concerning time for everybody involved in Notts County, be it staff, supporters, players, whoever.
We'll just start with the wages of the staff and the players. Is there any update on that as to when they are likely to be paid?
It was my understanding that the staff were obviously a little bit concerned and worried about obviously getting their wages. I'm told that Alan Hardy had a meeting with them on Friday afternoon to say that he hoped to pay them this week, so hopefully that will prove to be the case. I know the players are considering approaching the Professional Footballers Association, which is obviously their union. They obviously have measures in place that help out at times like this. You know, they've done so at Bolton and other teams that have been financially struggling, so wait and see how that transpires, but I am told that they are closely monitoring the situation. Aside from that, it's obviously whether the club can sort of raise the sufficient monies to obviously pay the staff, you know, the rank and file staff, like the office people, and hopefully that they can find the money and sort of they can move on.
On July the 10th, there's a small matter of the High Court hearing date. It's already been adjourned twice over an unpaid tax bill of around £250,000. Administration could be a real threat for Notts County at the moment, with them struggling to pay staff and players as well.
Well, it certainly is, because the problem is that, you know, since January, when the club was put on the market, we've been told that there's been interest in the club from South African consortiums, Alex May, Colin Dodd's group, and yet a deal still hasn't materialised, and trying to get a definitive answer on what the hold-up is has proven greatly problematic. The longer that situation goes on, the more the club finds itself in a hole, and I would say that July the 10th is such a massive date for the football club. Administration is certainly a real and present danger. You hope it wouldn't come to that, because it would incur a points deduction, but it might actually be the best thing for the club moving forward. It would allow Notts to be able to do a deal with their creditors for a start. Whoever comes in, if the club was to be bought, then that would be great. That's the ideal scenario, but the club going into administration would allow somebody to come and buy the club and do a deal with the creditors and try and arrange some way of paying the debt back. So that would just give them a little bit of protection. Of course, the unthinkable scenario is liquidation, but I would hope, and I would say this with reasonable confidence, that nobody would want to see the world's oldest professional football club go to the wall.